Hey, welcome back to the channel. There's no rest for the wicked. Weary, wicked, no rest. There's no rest for me. That was dumb. That was dumb. Every tool's a hammer, unless it's a screwdriver, then it's a chisel.
We need a torch. Hate that nut.
We're not doing that. Because it ain't built till it's overbuilt. Don't force it. Get a bigger hammer. Every day's a school day. My kids are on their way here. They should be here any minute. We got to get out to my daughter's future father-in-law's because their wedding is in a couple of weeks, and they've got an old car that they really want to drive from the wedding to the reception in, and it doesn't do all the things that a car needs to do. So we're gonna go and get it, and I was gonna work on it there, but I have a lift here, and it's so much better to work on stuff in your own shop. So we're gonna go get it, and we're gonna drive it back here. Maybe, yeah, if it'll run long enough. And I don't know about, brakes and things like that. And I do know there's no license plate at all. Should be fine, right? I'm gonna take a can of fresh gas. So I don't know what else we would need. I think I have a tow strap too. That checks all the boxes. We're gonna go get it. I don't know how it's gonna, I worked on it last week, put a new gas line on it, fuel filter, got it running. So I actually drove it from one barn to another. Maybe, I gotta bring a booster pack. With a booster pack, I got a fairly good chance that it's gonna start and head home. And then we'll go from there. Oh, this thing is it's like driving a cloud with a sofa for a seat. It really drives nice, but it really runs kind of crappy. And you never know what's gonna do when you hit the brakes. One thing's for sure, you're heading for one ditch or the other. Oh yeah, we got seriously moody front brakes. You never know which one's gonna grab. So you just gotta be ready for anything. This is a great idea. Allow me to introduce you. This is Christine. Almost. It's a 1960 Chrysler Imperial, which was Chrysler's Cadillac. And it is quite a rig. Trying to find the source of the big antifreeze leak. I think I accidentally found the source of a skip. There's your problem right there. So the massive coolant leak is dripping off the inner fender. So I said, oh no, it's the heater core. And that doesn't look like a very fun job. And then I went, no, we didn't even tighten the clamps up. Huh. I think Henry Half-Assed must have worked on this thing. Or maybe I did. Have I already been here? This is fun. I love tracking down wiring problems in old cars. Said no one ever. I'm just realizing that if this thing had a trailer hitch, how cool would it look towing my wife's 1958 food trailer? That would be sweet. I may have to fake it and get some pictures at least, because it would look really cool. Anyway, it is like driving a cloud. It's even more than that, I think. I mean, I've never driven a cloud, but it's like driving a cloud underwater or something. I got the skip fixed. I got the brakes are sort of fixing themselves. I think they just need to run a bit. They work fine. They're just a little grabby. So I'm gonna take it out for a ride is what I'm doing right now. But let me show you around while it's warming up. It's very 1960. Push button drive. The blinkers are over here, which is interesting. and I got them working with just a bad flasher, I think. It has absolutely no heat or AC. I mean, the car has AC. It actually has, I guess, 2 zones, although I haven't figured out how you control the rear, but there's a fuse for rear AC. Maybe it just has a separate fan. I don't know. Anyways, none of it seems to work, which is fine. All I'm working on this for is, well, let me back up. This belongs to my friend Tim Havens. On YouTube, he's Tractor Tim and the Toys, and he has quite a collection of stuff over there. And this is one of them. This is one of his cars. It's his only car that he owns. Everything else is trucks and tractors and toys. So my daughter is marrying his son, and they are going to use this car in their wedding. So it needs to be, you know, functional and safe. That's what we're going for. I'm not worried about fixing every little thing, because I got to tell you, the wiring system in this is it's tough to figure out. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's not hacked up or anything, but when something doesn't work, nothing is simple, because it's a very fancy car. It has a lot of widgets and doodads. And if you start looking online, everybody that knows anything about them says the wiring in these is ridiculous. For example, when you put the turn signal on, they wanted the light to blink like 2 or 3 times quick and then blink normal. And in order to do that, they added complicalities everywhere. It's insane. But she, you know, sure is pretty. It's got a 413, and somebody swapped the carb for a Edelbrock piece of crap, but it's brand new, so it still works okay. Before I could get it out of the barn, I had to run a new gas line and a fuel filter because it was just hemorrhaging fuel all over. But the fuel pump does work, and since I fixed that spark plug wire that was not on the spark plug, it really purrs like a kitten. The thing runs like a Swiss watch. Got the cool exhaust tips. Don't worry about that there's no license plate on it, okay? Let's not talk about that. Trunk, large enough to carry 6 dead mafia guys, if you ever needed to, you know? Probably was a popular car with the mob for that reason. Anyway, let's go for a ride. See how this thing is. This squarish type steering wheel is, well, it's interesting. It's weird to drive because as you steer, there's like, whoop, see the brakes, a little grabby. As you steer, there's like, it's not round in your hands. It's got bumps on it. It's a little getting used to. Fun. I don't know if you can explain to the younger generation. I'm old enough that I remember cars, not quite this old, but you know, cars were boats up until the early 70s. That's when I was born, and so those cars obviously were still around that I remember, and I remember how they rode like a cloud, you know, but you can't really explain it to the younger generation. It's kind of something you need to experience. This this thing, I mean, it's like one finger on the wheel and it just floats along. You don't even feel, unless you hit an actual pothole, an actual bump, you don't feel the road. There's no interaction with the road. I don't know if that's good or bad, but it sure is different. And it's kind of a dream, you know? It's really pretty cool to drive. I found the secret trick. These front brake drums apparently had gotten a little crusty Now I know I could have took them apart, cleaned them all up, put them all back together, but you can also just drive around with your foot on the brake a little till they get good and warm, and then problem solved. They got all polished up. Brakes work perfect now. So this thing is all done. It's ready to go. There's a shop that's gonna wash it and wax it for them, and mechanically she's good to go. She's purring like a Swiss kitten. Something. And man, she is pretty, right? That's a good looking rig, and drives like a dream. So should be all set. Thanks for watching. Thanks for spending your time with me. I do appreciate you. God bless you. God bless the United States of America.